Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. Today I'm gonna be telling you all about my 25 kg weight loss journey, which is still not over and it's taken some time, but I'm gonna share with you all the ups, the downs, and also what actually and finally worked and how I've managed to keep off all that weight. So I'm gonna give you a little gist of what my life has been so far and how I reached that staggering over 100 kg weight. As a child, I was really skinny, and in fact I was so skinny that my parents were worried that I would never put on weight and that I was not eating enough. But at the age of 10, something terrible happened to me. I'm not really ready to talk about it, but it completely changed my life. I started turning to food for comfort. I wasn't aware of it then. I was just a kid, but that's what I was doing. I remember for breakfast, if my mom were to make dosas, which is a typical South Indian breakfast, I could easily finish about 8 to 10 dosas in one sitting, and that was at the age of 10, 11, 12, and that was pretty normal to me. So binge eating became a habit, it became a lifestyle for me. I put on tons of weight. I was made fun of in school. Even my own family, aunts, uncles, cousins called me names. I was called Laddu and Meatball and whatnot. And it was depressing. And when I got depressed, I would binge again. So my weight kept going up, and I was born and brought up in the UAE, in Abu Dhabi. And my parents decided to move to Bangalore, India. So I had a lot of anxiety moving to a new country, a new place, and joining a new school and having to deal with the fat shaming all over again with new people. And actually the move did me good. I moved to Bangalore, and I remember at the building, the apartment that we used to live in, there was a group of girls who I can never forget. They came up to my house and introduced themselves, and they actually called me with them to play with them. And that was a very new concept for me, being a Gulf raised kid. In those days, we didn't really go down and run around and play games. So I started to play different sorts of games with these girls. We used to play badminton, and we used to play lagori and throw ball and cricket and everything that I had never done before. And eventually the weight started falling off, and this was when I was 13 and 14, and my weight was dropping off, and I started to feel more energetic and good about myself. I never ever thought of myself as someone good looking. In fact, through my childhood, I believed that I was really ugly, and I used to always wonder why I don't look like my parents or my sister, who I consider to be really gorgeous. So once I started losing the weight, a friend of mine from the same group of girls who is in my apartment building, she told me, "Arlene, do you realize that you are actually very pretty? And now that you've lost so much weight, you look better." And I was like, oh no way, that can't be, that just cannot be. I mean, I'm not even average, I'm below average. And then I realized that if someone can tell me that out of a good heart and with absolutely no bad intentions or ulterior motives, it could possibly be true. So I lost more and more weight. I started looking at myself in a different light, and things were going really well. In fact, when I joined college after school, I did a few modeling assignments. I acted in a movie. And yes, I got a lot of attention from the boys and from everyone else. I enjoyed it and it was amazing. Life was good. So how did I put on all that weight again? So during the final years of college, bad relationship, abusive verbally, physically, being called names, it again made me depressed, made me feel that I was never good enough for anybody and that I was just doomed to be alone. And the more this person kept calling me names, fat shaming me in ways you wouldn't believe, the more I started binging. I started binge eating and I had no control, and I just started putting on the weight again. I graduated from college. I joined an MNC desk job, and as you know, as a desk job requires you to sit on your desk for about 8 hours a day. I go home, I eat, and then I go to sleep. So the weight gain accelerated, and how I started packing the pounds, the kgs were just going up. And I completely lost control. I started looking at myself the same way I looked before. I knew I was pretty, I knew I had good features and everything, but I wasn't realizing that it was all, the pounds were adding up and it was changing me, and I was in complete denial. For years this carried on and on and on. So after I left my MNC job, I was DJing full-time. I started DJing when I was 18 years old. So I was sort of used to that lifestyle of late nights and then going to a day job, and then again another late night, and then that bad lifestyle continued. And once I quit my desk job, it only became worse, because as a full-time DJ, I was traveling to different cities, eating in hotels. Room service, I have to say, is one of the main causes of my weight gain. Absolutely no sleep. I was not drinking enough water. I was eating unhealthy food, and I thought nothing of it. In the year 2010, I decided to join a gym because I started feeling a little sick. I was getting body pains. I was feeling tired all the time, and my parents told me it is high time you do something about your weight. You are going out of hand. So I joined the gym, and as you know, before you join any gym, they will take your measurements and they will put you on the weighing scale. Something that I hadn't stepped on for years because I just did not want to. I avoided it at all costs. And I was so shocked to see the number on that scale. That was the highest I had ever been. The year 2010, and that's when I decided I need to make a change. So I continued with the gym. I lost about 4 or 5 kgs at the most. I was not very regular because as a DJ, again, with all the traveling and the late nights, I just couldn't make it to the gym. I kept making excuses most of the time, and I was not even following any sort of diet. In the year 2013, I was getting married. I was very happy, and from the beginning of the year, I started working out again, trying to lose weight so I can fit into a nice, beautiful wedding gown and look like a princess. Unfortunately, that did not happen. So I basically looked like a whale my wedding. And even now when I look at my pictures, I really wish I knew better. Anyways, after marriage, I joined a gym. I was very happy and in a very positive and good state of mind, and I started going every day for an hour. It gradually moved to 2 hours, and then I was doing 3 hours of high intensity workout at the gym. I was lifting weights. I was doing deadlifts with 40 and 50 kgs, and I was doing 5K runs once a week on the treadmill. The pounds, the weight just started dropping, and I actually lost about 20 kgs in the next 2 years. So between 2013 and 2015, I lost 20 kgs. I started feeling good about myself. I was balancing my work. I was trying to be as healthy as I can on the road and while I was traveling. Then in 2015, my husband and I decided to move to Dubai. So basically that was a move back to the UAE. I was all excited about it, and we just moved with with nothing in mind really. We didn't have anything in hand. We didn't have a job in hand. We didn't have anything. We just came here and started looking around, and with all that stress of moving into a new country, with still spending Indian rupees in a country like this is difficult when you're not earning. And eventually things fell in place. I started my new residency. My husband, who was also a DJ, got his own residency, and things were working out, but our hours were crazy because when I moved to Dubai, I also got a day job. So I was doing a day job, and then I would immediately go to the club and play till 3 a.m. again, wake up at 7 a.m. the next morning. So there was basically no sleep. I would eat out most of the time, and with all the stress, I didn't really care about what I ate. Because I was working out so heavily in Bangalore, and all of a sudden I had just stopped and I was eating like crazy. You guessed it, the weight just came back. I didn't gain back the entire 20 kgs, but I would say close to 15. So yes, I put on a lot of weight, and then things settled down for us in Dubai. We're doing really well. We both have our separate residencies. I quit my day job because I didn't really require to do it, and it wasn't really making me happy. I just wanted to follow my passion. So things were looking up. I was browsing YouTube, and I saw a lot of videos about the keto diet. So the keto diet was something very hard for me to believe, because here are these people saying that they lost 30 and 40 kgs, and some even much more than that, by saying that they eat fat. Yes, you heard me, fat. We live in a society that tells us that if you eat fatty food, you will become fat. Well, I didn't know better then, but I'm so glad that I decided to look further into this keto diet and to actually try it. So I started following the keto diet, and the weight just started to drop. I didn't even start working out then, and the weight was just dropping. In the first week, I remember I actually lost 4 kgs. And that was unbelievable to me, because I remember when I used to work out in the gym so hard, a few grams would make me happy. If I had to lose a few grams, it would really make me happy. And here, in a week's time, I have lost like 4 kgs. Last year, which is 2017, my husband and I decided that we were going to expand our family and have a baby, which I did. I did not have gestational diabetes. I had no complications whatsoever, and people who hadn't seen me from back in Bangalore still thought that I was that heavyweight. And I had put on weight in Dubai, and I was really heavy, so I needed to be careful during my pregnancy, and they told me not to eat this and to control your diet, and you might get diabetes and then it will stay on after pregnancy. I did not have any of that, and I owe that totally to the keto diet. So this year, 2018 March, I had my little baby girl, the love of my life. I put on a lot of weight during my pregnancy. I put on about 12 kgs in total, but I was definitely not bothered about it during my pregnancy. Because I knew I had the tools to lose the weight postpartum. So my baby was out and in this world in March, and unfortunately I had a few problems because I was not lactating. I had seen lactation specialists, I tried medication, I tried natural medication, I tried everything there was to try, because I really wanted to breastfeed my baby for at least 6 months, and that's what I really wanted to do, but unfortunately that didn't happen. So I must say, if you're breastfeeding your baby, please do not follow the keto diet. There is not enough research to say that it is safe, but I think it might just hamper with your milk supply. So after trying for 3 months, at the beginning of the 4th month, I decided that I should get back to keto. And so here I am, back on my weight loss journey, and I so look forward to losing not just my pregnancy weight, but a lot more, and start feeling good and healthy. So I started in May 28th, and I have already lost a good 7 kgs in about a month and a half, and I'm progressing really well. I'm trying different things, and there's so much to keto that you will learn step by step, and I'm going to be making videos on all these things that I follow. So do make sure to subscribe to this channel, because I'm definitely going to reveal every single thing I know that has helped me through the way. So let me just tell you a little bit of this keto diet. What is the ketogenic diet? It is a low carb, high fat diet. Yes, you heard me, high fat. So basically, your body produces ketones in the liver to be used up as energy. Our bodies normally use glucose for energy. But if you starve your body of this glucose, your body starts using your stored fat for energy. What is glucose? How do we get glucose in our body? It comes from carbs and from sugar. So if we starve our bodies of these two things, your body is going to start burning fat. So this diet is not done by starvation of calories. It is actually done by starvation of carbohydrates. And this diet actually turns your body into a fat burning machine. So the basics of keto: you have to consume only 5% carbohydrates, 15 to 25% of protein, and 75% of fat. And the 5% of carbohydrates can be taken in the form of green and leafy vegetables. When I say 5%, would probably mean about 0 to 20 grams of carbs in a day. So that's just the basics of keto. To know further, please make sure you subscribe to my channel, and I will even let you know how to begin with this diet, and if you're especially if you are a beginner. Now, weight loss is not the only benefit of this diet. You have so many benefits, and I actually have experienced it. Well, of course, there's weight loss, appetite control. You don't feel hungry at all. Most of the time, you eat because you just have to eat, or when you're really hungry is when you're supposed to eat. It really controls your appetite and your cravings. Constant energy and mental performance. This I have experienced for myself. I'm more alert. I have all the energy. I have a newborn at home right now, and I should be really tired and looking really bad, but my friends have even told me that I look so fresh, and I'm actually still growing post-pregnancy, and they're also shocked, and I owe this to the keto diet. The diet controls your blood sugar and can even reverse type 2 diabetes. Yes, you heard me. It's good for all you diabetics. It also improves your cholesterol profile. So if you're someone with high BP, I'm sure you've been told to stay away from all the red meats and all the fat, but if you follow the keto diet and just cut off that sugar and carbs, trust me, your cholesterol is just going to be normalized. Of course, if you have blood pressure, it will normalize your blood pressure, as well as it will stop insulin spikes, so it will control your insulin levels. You will also have a calmer stomach, so no upsets from gas and less cramping. Increased physical endurance. What this means is if you're working out and lifting weights, and if you're on the keto diet, because of the burst of energy that you're gonna have, your physical fitness and your energy and your endurance is just going to improve drastically. This diet has also been proven to be effective for treatment of epilepsy, and there is so much research done to prove this, and they've actually tried it on patients, and it has actually helped them, and it's worked wonders with epilepsy. So now I'm going to tell you about the basics to get into the state of ketosis, where your body starts burning fat for energy. Firstly, restrict your carb intake. So basically, it has to be less than 20 grams of net carbs a day. Restrict protein. Just because you're on the keto diet, a lot of people think that they can eat all the meat in the world, but actually, if your protein intake is very high, the protein just gets converted to glucose, and then you have an insulin spike, and then you're completely thrown out of ketosis and you can put on weight. Eat enough fat. As I said, we've been told fat is bad, and Initially, when you start the keto diet, I know I felt this way. I used to think 10 times to even put in an extra spoon of butter or ghee, or to eat that extra fat because I thought it was going to cause harm to me. But make sure to eat enough fat. You need about 75% of your calories to come from fats. Avoid snacking when you're not hungry. We're always in the habit of eating something or the other, nuts, chips, when we're actually not really hungry. Especially I used to do that when I was watching, I would watch TV. It's called mindless eating, so that has to be completely avoided. Intermittent fasting. Intermittent fasting goes hand in hand with the keto diet, and it just means that you are going to fast for a certain number of hours in a day, and in the remaining hours you have to consume all the calories that you are supposed to consume. It does not mean that you're starving yourself, it's just that you're timing your calorie intake. I will be speaking more about intermittent fasting in another video, so please make sure to subscribe and follow me, and you will benefit from it. Exercise. Yes, get physical. Even though you can lose the weight without the exercise, with the exercise, you're just going to benefit a lot more from this diet, and you have so much energy and you would actually feel like exercising. I love doing high intensity interval training and full body exercises because I feel that they work better for me, and I can see the difference in the scale the very next day. So yes, do exercise. Get enough sleep. You just have to have a good 7 to 8 hours of sleep. If it is not possible, you have to make it possible. Sleep is everything, and it definitely affects the way your body functions, and you need enough of sleep. Drink lots and lots of water. On the keto diet, your liver is working continuously to produce ketones. It needs to be hydrated. Your body needs to be hydrated too. So drink a lot of water. So what do you need to get started with the keto? Do you need any products or devices? Absolutely not. You have ketone supplements, and you have things such as MCT oils that people add to their coffees and things like that to give them that extra fat boost. These are all optional, so you don't really need to require them. I don't use them. So for my next video, I'm gonna tell you how to get started, especially if you're a beginner. I'm gonna tell you step by step of how you're gonna start the keto diet. And remember, this is not just a diet, it is a lifestyle. So this is lifelong, and it is possible. I love my pastas and I love my biryani, but I'm doing perfectly fine on the keto diet, and I'm not missing any of it. There are so many alternatives that you can use in the keto diet to substitute that sugar and all those carby foods. So don't be afraid to try it. I'm not a doctor, I am not a nutritionist, but these are things that have worked for me. They might not work for you, but I'm pretty confident that they will. So give it a try. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel and to like this video if it was of good information to you. I basically poured my heart out to you guys. So I look forward to seeing you again. Until next time, bye bye.